You
Alright,
did
bet.
record it. You did. You did. Go back.
No,
Go
I'm not
back.
talking about this. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter. We got the Craig bot. Go back.
Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back.
Okay.
Stating the meaning in
hurry
the
up.
sense that the formal statement explains a term using other terms. So it's explicit, linguistic, and constructed. I said meaning is what the term is taken to mean so far to actually conveying or signifying
No,
the
that's not your last response.
which is going to
That's
be
not
broader than the
responsive.
definition because it's going to have these usageness, these context and association. So it's going to be
Someone put me on to some
here and it's going to be holistic. That's more
You go
depth for
behind
you.
that.
Now, how the
Shut the fuck up,
That's
niggas.
my
relate
response.
to
not
what
your
you just
response.
said?
Wait, hold on. Let's see if my internet's good. Just 1 sec. Yo, Flo.
No, I
is my
said
internet
before
good
that
now?
response. This is not your last response. This is the response you already played. Yo, is this guy autistic?
I'm trying to find it, dumbass.
Like, go to the response before my response that I just given right there.
Wait, is it going back?
No.
Yes, go behind that response.
No, because there can be multiple things you can be
mine.
referring to.
That's fine. Remember the phrase true by meaning, not truth itself. Without circularity. Because analytic would have to depend
Should I go forwards?
Hold on. Let this just watch from here. I
on,
guess
again,
there's
what we
no way.
just said, the definition and the synonym. But they were going to rely on the meaning. So then when he goes into radical translatability, given his, his paper, he basically goes into Gavagai. And I've said this earlier.
Oh my
For
lord.
which Gavagai, you would have this linguist that's just trying to enter the realm.
Gavagay.
You're trying to give a translation that's going to be indeterminate and ambiguous with no single translation definitively being correct. That's going to challenge our understanding of meaning because you have the inscrutability of the reference. So even with a perfect observation on a given subject, you're saying it's a mischaracterization because he analytically is going to be stipulated to the sort tool of the homogeneous features for that which makes up what we call a male. But you're probably going to be making the reduction of he towards the characterization of the assemblage for which that relates us to a male. But given that you're trying to relate that to the male characterization, then you're obviously showing us that it seems that you are a he in virtue of you meeting the satisfactory conditions, biologically speaking and encoding speaking, of what we call a male. But if you encode that, then
This guy's
it seems
so
that it's
ass.
not meaning in virtue of the, I
This ain't
guess,
being on you.
well, it's not meaning, again, like you said, in virtue of the form, and it's not true.
Yep, so much.
Entire fucking time. So the in that sense.
Wait, okay, so the definition of something is not the meaning of something?
So can you let me finish?
What did that say?
But wait, hold on. Yep.
That question. And then you laugh. And then you do the
The
autistic laugh.
definition of something is not the meaning of something? That's what it said. Alright.
Yeah.
Is that
Then you do
clarified?
an autistic laugh as if I blundered. That's what I'm talking about. That implication gives us the frequency of you thinking it's retarded that I'm saying that the definition is not the meaning of something, when that's obviously true. Trivially.
Yeah, but it would fall under the category or something. Let's just be clear on something. This guy does not understand semantics. This guy does not understand semantics.
No.
Please just calm down.
Said different. I never. Are we okay, everybody?
I never said that. You said they were different. Just calm down. Let me just clarify my position.
Look,
What is
Nene is saying you're slow. You're look at you. You're embarrassing
What?
yourself. Definition
What?
is not the meaning of something. Definition again, and I'll tell you this one more time.
It would fall under the
Formal statement
category
that
of meaning
explains the term
something.
using other terms.
Oh my
When
god.
you're speaking about the meaning, that's actually what a term is going to be conveying or signifying. That's totally fine.
Wait. Alright, so watch this.
Fine. The which is going to be broader than the definition.
1067 MS.
It's going to show the same part as if it's going to help him, which is not.
Wait, so wait, hold on. So the same part, right? The same part that we were in reference to, is that not the part where I said that it falls under the category of meaning?
Wait, tell me where I denied that. I want you to show me.
No, I didn't say you denied that. I'm asking you a question, dumbass.
Look, I'm telling you, dumbass, that
Oh my! Answer the question. 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 Bro, I had enough of you ducking. I had enough of you of ducking. Please answer the question. The question is.
You can say
Did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that?
Yo, hold
it's
on.
a yes or no.
Okay,
but I want to hear yes or no. That's all I want to hear.
CH, does anybody have perms? Like, can we mute?
Okay,
this
I'll
one?
mute him. I'll mute him.
I appreciate it, CH. I don't know why he keeps on doing this. I'm trying to give my answer and he keeps on like rambling.
He's not even giving an answer.
Saying
Yes
that
or no.
definition is going to fall under meaning. It can be subdued by meaning, or it can have meaning invoked on it. Okay, but I'm telling you again, meaning is more broader than the definitions because it's going to include these usages, these contexts and associations, and it's more so lived. Definitions is just the formal statement that's going to be linguistic and constructed, more syntactical. The other one is going to be more semantical insofar to the context of the associations and the usageness. So how we state something is not going to be the same on how it's taken to be or how it's desired under most contexts. So really, no, in one sense, definitions doesn't fall under the category of meaning. But in another sense, you can say it does insofar as you can invoke meaning on to a definition. And then if you want to take that under the category, then sure. But that's the only way the only exception I'm going to accept definitions being under meaning. Okay.
Good Lord. I don't know why I'm getting 7 meter when it was supposed to be a yes or no question and he did not answer with a yes or no before. So let me just explain what my question was again. I'm asking whether or not I'm asking if I claimed such a thing. Did I claim that definitions fall under the category of meaning? Yes or no? It's a yes or no only. Like, don't ramble.
No, there's no questions. It's yes or no. But listen, let me go ahead and answer this.
Please, just yes or no.
I'm going to be very explicit. I'm going to be very congruent with you, okay?
Did I say this? Did I say this?
Hold on. Now listen. All I said was this. You have now made the implication that it was a blunder by your autistic laughing to commemorate the view that saying that definitions and meanings are not the same seems retarded. Most of the time we have this frequency of seeing people laugh when somebody says something that they think or deem to be retarded or deemed to be obviously false. So I'm saying, well, it seems to be the fact that you were implying that definitions and meanings are the same, in fact. But that just seems to be a blunder, and that's just not how Quine took it to be. Let alone, I never said that a definition is under the category of meaning. I only said it's only under the category of meaning with an exception, and that's if and only if you mean to be able to have meaning assigned to a definition, which that's trivial because definitions are composed of terms, and terms can convey and signify something. And in that sense, you can invoke meaning in a definition. But it doesn't mean that meaning, which is broader than a definition, is going to have to now contain definitions under its category.
Okay, oh my lord, he did not answer the question again. So his reply was, Secret, I didn't know I can't fall under the category of meaning. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if I said such. Did I say, because I showed it on the recording, did I say that it falls under the category of meaning? Yes or no? It's a yes or no. For the love of God, please stop yapping.
Let's finish right here.
Okay, never mind. So let's just put him on. Yeah, never. I'm gonna put him on local mute. I'm gonna put him on local mute because like he's just not answering the question.
Then you can put this guy on.
Alright, so I'm gonna put him on local mute. I have OBS by the way, so yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, look, you can't locally mute him or you're gonna get server muted. Like you can't do that.
I have OBS, so it's still gonna be recorded. Hold on 1 second. I got low battery. 1 sec. I need to put my battery in. Hold on. Shit, 1 sec.
Okay. Now, Abishmallah. Now, listen. All I'm saying is this. It seems to be the fucking fact.
Fall under the category
of that meaning what you're trying to say has definition under its category. I'm saying that I'm not disagreeing with that entirely, but I am saying that definitions is compatible under the category of meaning which, hold on, I want you to listen, which has constraints. The constraints are that you are only meaning its category, or you're only saying that the category has definitions under it only as
Lord.
having an effect of
My
meaning invoked on
Lord.
definitions.
Oh my Lord.
But if you're trying to say it's under it as if definitions are meaning, then that will be a confusion. And you're asking me, did you say that definitions are under categories? One,
Fall under the category of
look,
meaning,
I
not
can
under
agree to
categories.
that, or I can deny it. It really doesn't fucking matter. I'm telling you my response. Okay? That's all I care about. What you said is what's
a pain
being
in the ass.
assimilated on. Okay? Now, we can finish this little fucking meta, because I don't think anybody here wants to watch the meta, and get back to the meats and potatoes of me actually amping you discursively.
Anyway, so you did not answer the question again, so I'm going to answer it for myself. So if you're going to go on my stream, let's just listen to this. Alright, so the meaning of something and the definition of something. The thing would be entailing based off Quine's definition of what definition is. A definition would inherently fall under the category of being meaning. Yeah, of being meaning, right? So it falls under the category of being meaning, right? So right, so I didn't say they were identical. Yeah, I didn't say it right.
Meaning of being meaning. To be meaning is to be identical. Are you okay?
Yeah, but fall under the category of being meaning. Fall under the category, dumbass. Wait, I said fall under the I said fall under the category.
One at a time.
Look, CH. I know you're gonna like serve me, but I was like speaking. I was trying to finish my point. So like, please put them on.
No, somebody.
Please.
Yo.
What? I was actually. I'm trying to finish my point, and like you're just interrupting me, bro.
Just finish.
Okay, so I did not imply that they were identical. I said one falls under the category of the other. So we have two distinct categories. So either it's gonna be definition or meaning. Definition is gonna fall under the category of meaning, retard. So when I say that, oh yes, definitions are meaning, the point I'm trying to say here is that it falls under the category of meaning. That is compatible. Like I can literally like look, for example, finisher, like the finisher point. Like, I go to somebody's house, right, and I see a couch, and I'm like, boy, you got some good finisher. I'm referring to the couch here. I'm not saying that a couch and furniture are identical things. I'm saying that the couch falls under the category of a thing. For example, another counter example would be an animal. For example, let's say I see a cat. Now the cat falls under the category of being an animal. So I just say, bro, that's a cute animal, right? So I'm not saying that it's going to be identical to an animal, but it just falls under the category of being an animal. So yes, it is compatible. I'm not contradicting myself. I'm not saying that they are identical. Retard. So that's why your initial point, like your meta dog shit, like refutation failed. This nigga did not track at all. I know he's gonna like upload this and get his ults to comment that, oh, bro, kill one. I'm gonna delete all your comments, so yeah, you can do that as well. That's fine. Holy shit, this nigga's actually retarded.
This is discursively embarrassing.
Yeah, for you. Yeah. Start with the rhetorics and start with the substance.
I don't know why you keep
just
rhetoric.
respond.
Rhetoric is obviously anti-rhetoric, but it's not helping you. Now, no offense to Muslims, by the way, because I love Muslims. But look, the main point is this. It seems to be the fact, given Secret's, I guess, little fucking eulogy and his unwanted and unsanitary fucking soliloquy, we can go ahead and enunciate the given. All I am saying is this. One, when you say being meaning, that obviously implies some identity conditions. But I'm not saying that that's going to be contradictory. I'm just saying, well, of course, somebody would interpret it, given that you have laughed. I don't think you let me finish. Given that you have laughed at me for denying definitions are meanings, and then you say that definitions being meaning under the category of meaning, which just seems.
No, but I said full under the category
like
of
if we
being
talk
meaning.
about a set and we have the member, then you're saying that the member is under the set, such that the member is the set or being the set. That seems to be contradictory insofar to the languages, given the behavioral functions that we have obviously observed from you. But even if I were to be charitable, let's still man you. And let's just say you didn't mean that. Let's just say you were just speaking about, oh, it falls under the category. I'm telling you, to fall under the category under this sense is obviously what's being denied. Okay. Now, if you're saying definitions are meaningful, or just definitions in general, when you're speaking about like all the particular definitions that we can go ahead and pick out are meaningful, then that would probably be denied because you can have definitions of private language, a proprietary language, which doesn't assimilate meaning, which I would probably deny, right? I don't believe all definitions are meaningful. Now, understanding all of these assimilations, I would deny they are going to be meaningful insofar that they have a meaning applied to it, and that's for all definitions, I mean, because some doesn't have to. But I believe that they can fall under the category insofar to the recitations and limitations of meaning being able to be invoked on a definition given the terms conveyance and signification. Now that we have finished this jibber jabber that you keep on going on, can we get
I
off
wanna
the
attack.
meta and can we get
Can
back
I
to
attack?
the
Can I
okay.
attack? I'll just attack. So
Go ahead and try to
right.
attack.
So this guy said he said that it was being meaning, right? I didn't say that. I said it falls under the category of being meaning. Like that's two completely separate claims. I don't know how he made a category area between those two. Like that's actually retarded. So his whole thing was just a straw man. His whole entire thing just fails. So yes, let's solve the meta. You clearly failed, and let's go back to the meat and potatoes, like you said. So what's gonna be the meat and potatoes?
I can really attack that, but I really want to get off the meaning.
I bet. We got
Just
the
saying
point.
you were having these
The message has been received. Please continue.
But keep on going. I'm
Okay.
glad. Now let's get back. Now, understanding that we have a clear-cut distinction and symmetry breaker between the definition and meaning, do you know how I defeated your point? Given the
didn't defeat
characterization
my
of the
point.
bimodal frequencies of a human, that gives us the characterization of he invoked on that human, that makes the distinction of he not actually dependent on the analyticity in the fact that it's going to be true in virtue of the meaning for which that definitional synonymy is going to be assimilated, but rather it's going to be the characterization of the parts for which functively comes true given the background theory assumptions.
Yeah, you didn't attack it. I explained how
I
it failed.
literally just did. What the
No,
fuck?
you have attacked it, but you haven't defeated it. My bad.
If I attack it, then that's acting as a defeater under fucking
No, it's
theoretic
not.
semantics.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It won't be a defeater.
That's how
Those are
it
two
works.
separate.
Under
Wait.
game theoretic
So
semantics.
okay, I'm not.
Hold on. I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished with my response, and then you cut me off. Now, under game theoretic semantics, not
What's
just
that?
game theoretics, when you're going into informal theory.
What's gang theoretics? What is gang theoretic
I was
semantics?
going to explain. I just said, hold on, because I know you just asked that question. Let me fucking finish, okay? Now, under game theoretic semantics, which you have the similitude, and then you also have the argumentation semantics, and then you have these fucking informal theories. You would say we have this approach to logic where naturalized language or the truth is going to be on these strategies. And then you're going to have a verifier, you're going to have the falsifier. The falsifier is going to be the attacker, that's the feeder in this sense. And if you are attacking, or if something is attacked, then something is defeated, because to be attacked is not to have a prevalence of no attacker. And in that sense, the defeater, which makes the defeat to get the defeatee, has now given us the corresponding to the claims that the proponent slash verifier and the opponent slash the falsifier has the operators under the GTS to give us the conditionalization of the intersection, for which gives us the defeated and the defeatee. So you have the defeated and the defeatee. Now, understanding all of these assimilations, let's get back on substance.
Yeah, we're back on substance. What do you mean? Okay, so I'm
I'm
saying that. Yeah, one sec.
Meaning being determined.
Yeah, one sec. So first,
I've gotten to the hold on. I've gotten to the characterization of meaning being determinate under this sense from the background theory assumptions of your view, and the characterization of somebody meeting this frequency of those bodily parts. Now, the bodily parts, which gives us the bimodal frequency, doesn't give us a uniqueness, that contrast. So in this sense, if I have something for which looks like a man, but it doesn't have the chromosome structure, then you would probably say that that chromosome structure is going to be the biological determinant of which makes the meaning applied of he to the correct characterization in language. But obviously, under the intelligibility of that conceptual schematic, nobody would probably agree with that because obviously he, given the substantivity, which I've said earlier, given Leibnizian law, would give us a great, and I'll say this again, a great adjudication, or not adjudication, motivation. I'm so sorry. Motivation that leads us toward the application of language mean determinant on the physical and biological characteristics, given the resemblance that's obviously unpackaged in attempt to discover an equality which allows the identification of phenomena under the particular conditions of the experiment, which is under generality of the law, which is not repetition. And don't mistake it with repetition. Go ahead.
Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna just like explain something real quick, and then I'll also respond to his other points. So first of all, the reason why an attack and defeat are distinct, well, first of all, I'm invoking my semantics. When I say that attack and defeat are distinct, I'm obviously invoking my semantics. So I don't know why he's trying to posit his own semantics. Right, so the reason why attack and the defeat are two distinct things is like because a defeater, like you can think about this as fighting as well. Like let's just put this into fighting terms. For example, let's say I attack this nigga named Emperor, right? Let's say I attack Emperor. That does not necessarily mean that I've defeated Emperor in a fight. It's literally the same thing here. It's literally how I'm invoking the semantics. So obviously it is distinct. For your other point, I want to say my mom needs me. Hold on.
He's obviously
Alright,
leaving
back,
out
back,
because
back.
he doesn't know anything about language.
Yep. Definitely, okay.
Go ahead.
Right, so you're talking about chromosome structure. Okay, specifically, what we're talking about my mom. Okay, so if you're trying to talk about like, oh, this guy is changing his this guy is changing its chromosomes, that's not doing anything because we're talking about my mom, and my mom does not encompass this property. So, nope. I'm just specifically attacking the point where you said that you can utilize the term he for a female person who is going to be specifically my mom. I don't think you can use the word he for my mom because my mom analytically does not fall under the criteria of being a he, right? So that's just going to be a misuse of language. Like, bro, these guys must be high. It's like, it must be like so irritating to try to defend a guy who said you can use the word he for a female. Like, it must be so irritating. So yes, I'm referring to my mom. So this whole entire not blunder, my bad, or blabbering, like, oh, I mean, the chromosome structure, blah 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 blah, conditional, biological structure, like, does not apply to my mom, fat bitch. So it does not apply. And again, please minimize the jargons, because initially when we started the dialect, I said I'm a retard who does not understand any jargons. I'm a dumbass. Okay, thank you. I'm admitting to that. I don't know any jargons. So please use simple language.
Was this rhetoric, chat? But that's fine. I'll just be the anti-rhetoric destabilizer. So it seems to be the fact
I don't know
that
what
you have done
destabilizer
nothing
means.
for yourself here. Hold on, slow down. So just to go ahead and re-enunciate this, because I know you need some tracking. Okay, we need to give you some tracking goggles. We need to give you some coordination and navigation, because obviously you can't see straight. Now, it seems to be the fact that when you said the reason why attack and defeater is distinct under my semantics, which is proprietary, you've given a definition, which is saying, let's say I attack this nigga named Emperor. Doesn't mean I defeat him. Well, there's a difference. One, I told you, you're adding the more female context, which is going to be attacker, not and defeater, not what we call attack and defeat. Those two, I can agree, are distinct. But to be an attacker is to be the same as trying to be a defeater. So even under your proprietary semantics, which didn't even
delve in and convulse us and even challenge and try to put us up to the grace of the judge of what we are speaking about attacking and defeating, or attacker and defeater, is obviously going to show us incompatibility. Now we have made that fine-tuned symmetry breaker. We can go to the next
I
point,
don't
and
I don't know I don't know
hopefully
what fine
you
tune
can
symmetry
understand.
breaker is.
Oh,
I'm a dumbass.
put a muzzle on this ape, this sub 5 human. Now, getting back to what I was trying to say, I was trying to reciprocate that when you're speaking about he having this characterization of resemblance being unpackaged under to discover the equality, which that identification of the phenomena is going to be under the particular conditions of the experiment, then we are now going to be disposed to he being the characterization invoked on a being with the behavioral symptoms and the physical characteristics for which match it up to the inputs and the outputs of what gives us the male. I don't think he understood this. Now that we have obviously reciprocated that, we can get to the next point. The continuation of your analogy for which you can't utilize it for your mom, analyticity or analytically, you said, doesn't follow up to what your mom is. I've already attacked that. Analytics are obviously put into question what you haven't defeated yet. Defeated with an ED, by the way. Now, now, since I have been the anti-rhetoric destabilizer, and you're going to be like, I don't know what symmetry breaker means. Symmetry breaker is to show that, well, we are trying to make a break in the similarities on convergence of the representation of resemblance. The representation of resemblance, obviously, like we said, which is going to be the copy. Now, like I said, I brought this up earlier, how John Boyard would probably say he believes that reality is made up of copies, which hides the underlying true simulacrum. So that's called simulacra and copy. Representations are the very things that make our reality under his view. Well, more so silhouetted. Okay.
No idea.
That's the best way I could probably put it because you're inept. Now, getting away from that, when he emphasizes that representations replace the reality by hiding it, we're going to be creating the hyperreal state where the original is lost. Now, given that the original is going to be lost, then it seems that the similarity for which we have of the resemblance under the generality of the law for which we confuse, like Hume did, we confuse that to be a repetition or true repetition is actually just the one of the science. So I'm not sure if you ever heard of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just amp you on this because I know you're a little bit of a low tier. Generality being the law of the things repeated because they are replaceable. Repetition is the true repetition. It's gonna be the things repeating that are irreplaceable. So when you go to plus Servian or plus Servian analogy, he splits reality into two ways. You have the scientific language, which is the symbol of equality, in which one thing can be replaced by another. For an example, like all electrons behave the same, and then just generality. But then you will have the lyrical poet, for which the language is going to be, for which everything is unique or irreplaceable and only can be repeated. But it is a confusion to say that the laws does not produce the repetition, in in the sense that um, in the sense that it's going to actually give the true repetition, because it can give a fake representation,
Oh
right? Or
my.
repetition. Because the law only described the resemblance or the patterns of the subjects ruled by it, which is far from grounding the repetition. So it's actually showing that the law shows the impossibility for true repetition of the subjects, as the law forced things to change with the similar or appearing similar. And in that sense, since I have kind of amped you on what repetition is because you don't understand repetition, and you don't understand generality, and you don't understand characteristics, and you don't understand biology, and you're fucking low tier, and you're fucking retarded, it has shown to everybody that you don't understand how he can have the characterization of substitution upon an entity given the generality of the bimodal factors, given the biological characteristics, back to what we are trying to input given the chromosome structure. Go back.
Yeah.
Now you can go.
Yeah, so that is a lot of points. So, his last point was just pure jargons. Like I said, I don't understand any jargons. I'm a dumbass. So he's basically speaking Korean to me. Um, now let's just make something clear on the defeater and attacker point. You have to invoke my semantics, Kel. Like for example, let's say this nigga Nini is a fat bitch. Okay, you're the one trying to attack that, right? But if you say that the definition of a fat bitch, and you think the definition of a fat bitch is basically just a twerking black oily man, that's not actually gonna attack anything, right? Because you're just attacking something under your own semantics. But my semantics is positing, right, that a fat bitch is somebody who has a big ass belly, nigga, and has a lot of like oil and fats in her body. That's what a fat bitch is. So obviously, you're not going to be attacking anything, right? So when you try to attack the claim that, well, attack and a defeater, this thing, if you try to attack that, obviously you have to invoke my semantics. Like there's just no way you actually are denying that. Like it's so clear, right? So yes, it would be this thing, and again, the attacker thing. Yes, it can still be applicable to the attack and attacker. Both of them can be applicable. So he actually just conceded because like if he said that, well, the attacker is trying to be a defeater, right? So it's trying to do so. But would that just mean? But if you think they are identical, would that just mean that it's trying to be identical to itself? Like obviously that's going to be a reductio. So yeah, he clearly lost on this defeater point. Now for the behavioral point about the biological chromosomes and etc. The chromosomes, behavioral properties, biological behavioral properties. Like I said, this is in reference to my mom, dumbass. She doesn't have these behavioral chromosome properties that you're talking about, which are literally, you literally said that a he, right, is going to be a male, and a male is literally going to be constructed via the fact. Wait, calm down. Yeah, good, go on mute, good bitch. All right, so like what I was saying, my mom does not have these behavioral chromosomes, dumbass, or whatever shit you're saying. You literally constructed a male, or you said he is going to be in reference, or is going to denote a male. And then we said that, well, you can also denote a male as something with these behavioral chromosomes. Dumbass, we're talking about my mom. She doesn't have these behavioral chromosomes. That's why I don't agree. And when I say analytically, I'm not saying in virtue of my mom's
chromosome.
A behavioral chromosome. Wait, hold on, wait. So a chromosome. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you. So you asked me a question, I'm gonna answer right. So a behavioral chromosome is just a chromosome that literally just inputs functions or behaviors within a biological structure of a human being, not human being. My bad, organism. That is a behavioral chromosome. Now, even if we don't want to utilize the term behavioral chromosomes, you just said that chromosomes and behaviors and etc. These are just going to be criteria for we can denote as a male. Great, fat bitch. Now these criteria do not fall under my mom. No. Calm down. Yes, you did. So this is actually really embarrassing for this guy. Yes. Wait, please go on mute. I don't unmute and do that shit, so I don't know why he's doing it. Right. So again, it's gonna be clear. You already agreed that there are specific criteria and things and function inputs that are going to be utilized to denote what a male is. You specified those things. I told you that I'm talking in reference to my mom. So yeah, your counter argument doesn't apply. Well, one second, let me just put this on charge. My laptop on charge. Hold on. Okay, now for the other point, you said, but in the definition of your mom, listen, it's not in virtue of the definition of my mom. When I said it analytically, right? When I said analytically, what I'm talking about here, please stop. Yeah, so in virtue of the definition or meaning of a thing, right? So it's going to be true in virtue of a definition or meaning of a thing, right? So that's going to be what is going to be analytically true. Now, what I'm saying here is that a he cannot be utilized for my mom analytically because based off the definition of he is going to denote a male, is going to refer to a male, right? And you qualified a male as having these particular functions. I'm saying my mom does not follow on these particular functions. So when I say analytic, I'm talking about the definition of... I'm talking about the definition... Holy shit, I just forget what the fuck?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I'm talking about the definition of he. Not specifically the definition of my mom. So that's another mistrack. This guy, bro, oh my lord. Bro, please.
used
Alright,
on
so
to
now for the other,
characterize
wait, hold on, no, wait, his other points, like I said prior, initially, I have it on recording. I do not understand any jargons, so I don't know what he said about like convergence. I don't know like what that type of shit means. I told you I'm a retard. I do not understand any jargons. This
Yeah,
just
we know
proves.
you're a
This just
retard.
yeah. I'm a retard. I'm a retard. I literally yes. So please. Do not explain
Yes,
shit with
good boy.
jargon.
Now go back on mute. Go back on mute.
Yes.
The Hodge
Yes.
rhetoric is
So
not
one
for
second,
you.
so one second,
Now
so one
listen.
second, one second. So please do not explain anything with
Trying
jargon.
to talk, he's gone, guy. Like,
So explain with simple language. If he doesn't explain with simple language,
no, I
then
don't have
obviously he's
now listen,
disengaging.
hold on. I don't, one, I don't have to. Two, I don't even know what you mean by simple language. But hold
Yeah,
on.
yes you
Go
do.
back on
Yes you
mute.
do. Wait, yes
Go
you
back-
do.
put him on
Yes you
mute. Put
do.
him on
Well,
mute.
so
Put him on mute.
disengaging, disengaging, disengaging.
Hello, please. Thank you, I appreciate it. Now, understanding this, he had horrible rhetoric. He has displayed terrible fucking rhetoric. Now, hopefully he goes back, eats his mandarins, he sits back, relaxed, sit back in his cup chair while he gets amped discursively and rigidly by flow. Now, let's go into the first thing. He said, you have to invoke my semantics. One, that's a postulate. Two, I can go against your proprietary type of definitions. Right, I can give a Wittgensteinian account to go against the private language for which you're trying to instantiate. I do not have to invoke that. I don't see what's the argument.
I'll address this.
Yo, put a buzzer back on the guy. No, I don't see what's the argument for, and I'll say this again, the deontic language which you're trying to make permittable under your type of meta vocabulary. So, yes, that's going to be attacked. And then you try to say, for example, Nene is a fat bitch. Okay. Now, let's give a better example. Nene smacks the fuck out of you, puts your mom in a little cuck chair like you are in, and then starts zapping you guys at 40 watts per minute. Now, if we do that for an example, then it seems that when we're speaking about your mom and when we're speaking about whopping you, or I guess watching you and your mom at 40 watts per minute, it seems that when you give anyone with a fat belly, which you define as a fat bitch, would be applicable with anyone who can be zapped at 40 watts per minute, which is mainly almost any orgasm that you could put in a fucking chair and put things and attach them to each other. So when you say anyone, that seems to give us the vagueness for which anybody or a organism that qualifies as being able to get a fat belly would be able to act as the substitutable variation, which is true under the Leibnizian law. Now, when you're saying attack and defeater or distinct, there's no way we're denying, because you said attacker and attack are both applicable. Now, being applicable to an example is differentiated from attack and attacker being the same. And I told you it's not applicable because of the very ER that's added at the end of the word. So when you say ER, that's going to be a derivational suffix. So when you are saying from teach, you can get teacher, or you can imply teacher, the inflectional suffix, which is forming the comparative adjectives or having these indications of the locations or the instruments or the residencies given the comparative, the nominal state, you would probably be able to go ahead and enunciate the differentiation by saying the teaching, and or the teach, to teach, which is the infinitive verb, and to teacher, which is something added on the agentive, which is the transforming of the verbs into the nouns indicating a person from the tool, for which you have to be the bake and then you do the baker, and you did teach and then you do the teacher, or you have the teacher, you have the cool and then you have the cooler, for which that's going to be of a different intensity or a different maximum. Now, getting away from that, that gives us the distinction. Now, slow the fuck down.
I'm not even doing anything.
Next point. He's saying attack is trying to defeat her. If you say it's identical, then that's problematic. I'm not even trying to say none of that. It's identical. I'm saying attacker and defeater are going to be identical under these type of semantics. Now, if you're trying to say I have to take your semantics, then that's just a postulate, which obviously I'm going to be attacking, and I don't see why that would go through. Next thing, he said my mom doesn't have behavioral chromosomes.
Nope.
I don't know what behavioral is trying to act as an adjective there. He said behavioral chromosomes or chromosomes that inputs or functions within a biological organism. That seems very fucking broad. That seems very fucking proprietary. I don't think any literature supports him, but I already went against his like private language by the Wikidinian account, so that doesn't go through. And then he said he can't be used for my mom because he is a male. Analytically speaking, that's what's put into question, genius. That's why I've given the vague analogies. I've given the other guy analogies, yes, and I've given the fucking two dots.
Not trash.
Right? To give the vagueness of he. I was saying he can be obviously suffixed towards different type of criterions. I've given the resemblance argument. I literally said this. Hold on, because I know you didn't track this. I'm gonna repeat this one more time for the recording so everybody can know what this is tailored to. Everybody, I have said for the 50th time, the experimentation is the substituting of one order of the generality for another, substituting one of the equality for an order of the resemblance. Resemblance are just the unpackaged in order to discover an equality which allows the identification of the phenomena under the particular conditions of the experiment. For which we have the different generality, for which the generality of he can obviously be used under law to make the application for the male, but you can have the mischaracterization of that generality by making the substitution of a new generality for which you have the correct characterization for which he can be applied to female or somebody of the biological characteristics and chromosomes and the behavioral systems. Remember, I'm using "and," which is giving us the semblance, okay? The behavioral symptoms for which that all accumulates the bimodal frequency of what we call a woman, for what he can be applied there. And also, he is so vague. I mean, most people in theological investigations uses he to denote to God, although God is not that for which satisfies the male criterion, by the way, because God is neither male or female. Now, understanding that he is that for which is not going to be constrained towards the male, and analytics in this sense does not go through because I've given those objections, and you can go ahead and give your Muslim rhetoric. And like I said, that's not a stray towards Muslims. I'm just only saying it to him to actually speak up, object the fact of you trying to attack me. And like I said, I don't hate Muslims. I have to emphasize on that because obviously Muslims are going to all come toward me and start attacking me. I don't hate you guys. Go ahead.
So he made a mistake that like a second grader would do. So, alright, so the mistake he did, he said that my definition of a fat person or a fat bitch is going to be someone who has a fat belly. Okay, hold on. So he's trying to define the word fat by using the word fat. Like this is like, how do you even like you're trying to define that word, but the definition of the word you're giving includes that word. Like that's obviously going to be a blunder. Like there's no way you can save yourself from this, right? So no, that's not my definition of a fat bitch, right? I mean, obviously you're a fat bitch, so I don't know how you failed. You know, my definition of a fat bitch, but clearly that is gonna be a blunder. Again, he tried to make like a counter argument about saying like, oh, it's applicable to the example. Nope, I said the distinctions can still be applicable and they can entail each other because it's biconditional, right? So, for example, the teacher and the learner, right, and and teaching and learning are two distinct things. The distinction is still applicable to each, right? So, for example, if I make a distinction between a teacher and a learner, then yes, I can make a distinction between the student and the teacher. I mean, wait, which one did I say? Hold on. So, if I make a distinction between the teacher and the learner, I can make a distinction between teaching and learning, right? It's applicable. The distinction is applicable. I don't know what you mean by applicable to the example. This is like, I did not say that. I do not know how you even like came to that conclusion. That is just really, really weird. You said what?
That's a blunder, by the way. If anybody watches this track, we're going to see the fucking blunder.
Okay, so what's the blunder? Go ahead.
The blunder is you saying that you never said that both the attack and defeat are applicable, but now you're trying to say that you are now saying that they were never applicable, but you just said that they were both fucking applicable. That's the blunder, but keep going. It's
no, that's,
you don't
okay,
even know
so,
what you're saying.
So that's wait, calm down. That's a straw man. That's a straw man. That's not what I said. What I was specifically saying is that you said that I was saying it's applicable to the example, No, I'm not saying it's applicable to the example. I'm saying the distinctions can be applicable to both, regardless of the ER. So if you have for example, two words, and then you have those two words again, but you have the ER, the distinction between those two can still be applicable to each other. So if there's a distinction between the words with the ER, there's also going to be a distinction with the ones without the ER. Can you like please stop interrupting?
What the fuck is your Wi-Fi going through?
Yeah, hello?
This is not even a straight to Pakistan, bro. You're in the deepest depths of Pakistan because there's no fucking one.
Alright, you hear me now? Hello? Yeah, is my Wi-Fi good?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the terror attacks from the Israelis, done on your fucking country.
Well, just to be clear, right? Like, Israel is actually fucking cooked, so I don't know why he's trying to bring that up.
Actually, you're actually not clear. You're not clear.
Nice.
I mean,
really?
Ironically speaking about your speech impediment, which doesn't, like I said, ironically.
Wait, you literally have a lisp. You literally have a lisp.
I just said that's not. Did I not just say ironically, everybody? Did I not just say ironically, everybody? Did I not just say ironically?
I understand it's ironically. That doesn't mean that makes it better.
Yeah, so I'm glad you can agree that I have a lisp, but you have a lisp to the 10th power.
Nope.
Right? So it's actually worse.
I don't even have a lisp. You don't even.
You do.
Okay. We got it, man. You want to pack? You want to like? I don't know.
Now your
insult.
Wi-Fi is going out.
Holy shit! What's going on?
What are you talking about? Why are you so nervous? Are you just socially awkward? Do you go outside by chance?
What was it, huh?
I think bombing is happening at the regional space of
2.5. By the way, there is actually a bombing. So I don't know why he's trying to bring that up.
Well, I guess my predictive success has went through, Rizhan. Holy. Keep going though.
Alright, now the reason why you have to invoke my semantics, bro. Why is Rizhan? Let me just put on a local mute. So the reason why you have to invoke my semantics is because you're trying to attack my claim. Right, again, I already gave you the example, I already gave you the analogy, and so you didn't give a clear attack. And then when you try to give attack, the attack you gave was literally just a repetition. You just repeated yourself. Absolute buffoon. So, let's just be clear on something. Right? When you say that, let me try and get an example. Let me think of an example.
I'm not talking, by the way, stop your talking time, but then stay here. I'm just gonna like give one last attack and we can conclude after this because you're like illiterate.
Okay, I got an example now. So the example now would just be, for example, this is gonna be a very simple example. This time it's not gonna be hard. So let's just say that Emperor is bald. Okay, so Emperor is a bald guy. Okay, now if you think a bald guy and you contend my semantics by saying a bald guy is going to be someone who is going to have a lot of hair, which is not what a bald guy is. But if you do say that, you try to contend my semantics, and you say the actual semantics of a bald guy is going to be someone who has a lot of hair, that's still not attacking my claim, because my claim in actuality is supposed to say that this guy has no hair. That's what bald is supposed to mean. And for his God point, right, he's saying, oh, he, like, okay, listen, there's a distinction. So in Arabic, right, you don't have proper pronouns for God. So what you have to use is you try to refer to God in English when you try to use a pronoun for God in English, because you don't have non-pronouns, right? You can't just refer to God without a pronoun. Like, I mean, you can just say God, but like without that, you have to use a pronoun. But the point is, in English, you have to use the thing that is going to be the most befitting of God, right? So it's not actually. This is just going to be a linguistic crossing problem, right? So. But we're talking about internal problems in the same language, in English, right? But this is a problem between Arabic and English. Like, you dumbass, this literally happens in translations in the Quran, where you literally have crucifixion, right? So like, you can translate the Quran and it will say, like, for example, crucifixion. But what's actually being said is not crucifixion, but it just means, like, a specific type of torturing, where you, like, just hang someone in the wall and, like, you keep beating them up. Right? Arabic has a specific word for that, but English does not. So what you're going to do here, when you try to translate it, you're going to use the most descriptive word. So your God point does not apply. And yes, we can conclude if you want.
Yeah, like I told Nene earlier, I wanted to give one last fucking response and then we can go.
Okay, bet.
But by chance, I have a question. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I believe in God. That's a stupid question. You know I'm a Muslim.
Okay, go on mute. So it seems to be the fact that the myth of the given would still remain a myth because obviously your transcendental sky daddy couldn't give you enough IQ points to encapsulate a proper defeater to my fucking view or supporting of your view. Now, understanding that, I just beat the fuck out of you. The emperor is bald. That's what you just said, actually. If you think a guy is someone who has lots of hair, my claim is saying this guy has no hair. That is what Stu is saying in a nutshell. That is literally
Nope.
all you said.
Nope. Opposite.
Well,
Opposite. Opposite. Okay,
you
let me
did say
clarify.
that.
Let me
You did say
clarify.
that verbatim.
Let me clarify. For example,
No, go
no,
on
no,
mute.
you want
No,
to attack my point.
muzzle. Yeah.
You strawman me, so I want to clarify my
So
position
go
because
on
you
mute.
obviously did
Go
not
on
understand.
mute. Stop strawman. Go on mute. Muzzle. And nothing I said in this debate was strawman. That's just gonna go against all the other strawmans that you tried to sneak in there. Now, understanding that you're on the muzzle, we're good. It seems to be the fact that one, I kind of went against the postulation of your proprietary usageness, so I don't think you went against that. The Wittgensteinian account you haven't went against. I've been saying that like 50 times. And also, if I think a bald guy is someone with a lot of hairs, and your claim is that the bald guy has no hair, then it seems to be the fact that there's a differing in our definition of criterions, and it shows that there can be vagueness of baldness applied, given meanings that's going to be derivative from the humans, for which you're not going to go against that neither. You said for a God point, you don't have proper nouns for God, such that you can use he, but then it shows that he is not that for which is going to be analytically preserved towards the entities that's going to satisfy the male characteristics or biological functions, for which you now concede that, again, he is substitutable, and under Leibnizian law, we can use he for more things than the male, for which now the analyticity is not going to be preserved towards something that has the nature or essence of that for which satisfies the Homo sapien of the male. So now you conceded, and then you said, so you don't have a linguistic crossing problem. That's trivial. I mean, I think it is a linguistic crossing problem, but of a different level.
I just said it was a
I can
linguistic
explain.
question.
The linguistic crossing problem is you trying to have the analyticity of linguistics of proper nouns invoked using he, which is going to be vague, which can be invoked across different contexts and different type of beings, for which that substitutivity, you might just say, would have to have a network of intersubjective perspectives. You could take a Wittgensteinian account or like a Berkeleyan account. You have the predictive power and the coordinative success, for which that's going to attune us toward a larger landscape of people or, beings that satisfies the criterion of just having biological characteristics that's not that of which is going to be specified towards the XX chromosomes or the XY chromosomes or something with an extra chromosome, which would be you in this sense because you're fucking dialectically inept. The understanding that you have the crucifixion, which is going to be the total of a hanging, or you said it's a specific type of a hanging, which is basically another way of saying it's a sortal of the hanging, for your view in this sense. It seems that you can still assimilate that the crucifixion, for which is broad, is going to have it's going to have which the is a definite article in language, which is applied to crucifixion, for which is going to be specified to a demeanor, which is not going to be given the state of affairs that is actually going to be within the realm of bodies as signified. So we don't even know which state of affairs you're speaking to, and that seems to be vagueness. And that type that you're speaking about is going to be under the category as a specific sorter for which is not going to be applicable. Now we can conclude. Since you agreed to conclude on the last response, we can conclude. I don't want anybody trying to, brushing this up. And since we got into rec in here, we're gonna end the rec for me. I'm gonna disengage because I just beat on you, like very fucking bad. I'm gonna have somebody upload this real quick because I know you're gonna upload it, even if I actually don't upload it because it looks embarrassing for you. Kylo. Oh, he went on Devin. CH.
Yo, he took my mon. Nini has mon.
Oh, Nene. Indirect for me.
Can these guys unmute me?
Now, indirect for me. We can stop debating here. I do want to ask you a couple questions. A couple questions.
So why is
okay?
secret muted? Unmute secret. What
You
the
can
fuck?
unmute the guy. I do want to ask Secret a couple questions. We're ending direct. Hold on. Somebody end direct. Somebody stop direct. Yo, stop direct, Nene, please, for me.
Why is he serving me phone?
Just do stop.
Alright, so I'm gonna
stop
give my
command.
conclusion. Can I give my conclusion? You said you wanted to conclude, right?
No, I don't want to do conclusions.
You just said you want to conclude, and I said yes.
Yeah, I said we could conclude, but there's a difference between concluding on the debate and not giving a conclusions afterward, and giving a conclusion.
Yeah, but
which
I just want to I just want to give a conclusion. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be concluding.
That's retarded.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna agree to that. The fuck. I can just give a
Let's just
conclusion.
do a poll.
I can just give a conclusion like in my own rec because I have my OBS recording right now. Right. So he tried to say that I was basically conceding. I was not conceding. So for the Arabic point, we don't have any actual proper pronoun for God. You can't say you don't like you can't say God is a he. You can't say God is it. You can't say God this that. Right. So when you try to say God is a he in English, that's going to be a cross linguistic problem. Right. I do not deny it being a cross linguistic problem. So that's mistrack number one. Now. He said that I was conceding because I was saying that we can utilize the term he on someone that's not a he. No, that was not my claim. My claim was, yes, you can do that. I can do that. I can do that to Nene. I can say that Nene is a he. That's not the point. The point here specifically is just that, well, it would be a misuse. Can you shut up? It's going to be a misuse of language. Yes, a misuse of language. I'm not denying it's a misuse of language. That's why I said it's a cross-linguistic problem. So, yes, when you try to call God a he in English, that is going to be a misuse of language. But the way we try to minimize the misusage is by we try to get a pronoun into which is befitting of God. The most befitting of God is going to be a male, right? You can't just call God a female. That's going to be, right? Because if you say she, that's implying that God is going to be a female. So yes, the definition still apply. So if anything, that's just supporting my point, right? So it's actually not a concession because I never said that, because my initial claim was just that, well, it would be a misuse of language. But I'm not denying it's a misuse of language when you call God a he. I'm saying it's the only option we have. And so the only option we have is to misuse language, but we try to minimize this misusage of language by just saying, well, God is going to be a he in English. So that's a cross-linguistic problem. So that is going to be 2 tracking errors. And by the way, if you try to server mute me, that's not going to do anything because my OBS is still recording my audio. Dog shit retards. Oh my lord. This... and also I okay, so now for further conclusions, I extrapolate the category error that he made. I also explained how he made multiple strawmans, which went uncontended, by the way. And I also gave a reductio against his attacker and defeater point. I said, yes, if you're trying to say that attacker is trying to be a defeater and you're saying that the attacker and defeater are identical, then does that mean that the attacker is trying to be identical to itself? You never contended this reductio, you fat bitch, right? So there are multiple things that you have not contended, dumbass. Oh my lord, this guy's an actual retard. So that is